So there's a new Fallout 4 mod called Nyan Flat's Workshop that was created by one of my favorite mod authors by the name of Demanding. You guys have heard me talk about her before. She's a huge part of Creative Clutter, Do-It-Yourself, Modular Kitchen, all of the mods that I use religiously, and I will say that this new mod falls into that same category. She was kind enough to let me test it out before it was released, and it's so badass, man. Like, it's never leaving my load order. That's how much I like it. And in this video, I get to show it to you. The Nyan Flat's Workshop mod is very similar to the Noir Penthouse mod that I did a video on about a year ago. If you haven't seen that one, I will have a link to it at the end of this one. But essentially, in order to use this, you have to have the Nyan Flat's Creation Club mod. This one gives you a pre-built apartment in Good Neighbor, but you can't build your own. So what Demanding did was take all the wall textures, the furniture, the decor from this mod and turn them into a buildable kit in your workshop menu. I'm not going to go over every item in these menus because that would just take forever and I need to eat at some point. But just to give you an idea, these are the wall textures that I wanted to point out. So we have the stripes, we have the small tile, the larger tile here, we have gray, and then tan. And with each of these, we have all these different types of walls to choose from. So we can literally build whatever. We got these like rounded inside and outside, full door, half door, and then even larger doorways here, the different window walls. It's like literally anything that you need, we have it here. And that's what I love about these kits, is because you can really, there's no limits. You can build whatever you want. On top of that, we get these exterior pieces that line up with the interior walls and work perfectly with the mod Snappy House Kit by Robotin, a name that I know I never pronounced correctly or the same way twice for that matter. But if you know me, you know that Snappy House Kit is the main mod that I use for basically every build. Even this one, the building that I'm standing on, that I'm going to show you in just a second, was built with Snappy House Kit. And the reason why is because Nyan Flats is mainly an interior building kit. So I highly recommend using Snappy House Kit, specifically the Deco Kit's main A category, to build the outside structure because it just fits perfectly. So I'm over here at Hangman's Alley, which I'd never built at before, so that was fun, even though all I did was fill in this entire area with this big ass building. But if you can't really make out what I did, then I'm glad, because that's what I was going for. I basically filled in this entire area with this building, hoping to make it blend in with the rest of them. So essentially, I needed an area big enough to have a building that could hold my apartment, and Hangman's Alley seems to work out the best. I don't have any more commentary for that, but I'm just letting this whole scene play out because of how beautiful this shot is. Look at this place! I'm not going to be showing me building this because this video is for Demanding to show off her mod and what you can do with it. So I'm just going to do the tour, but if you guys want to see the build portion, let me know in the comments, and if there's enough, I'll see about doing a separate video for that. So I built this building to make it look like it was already here. So I put down all this mess and debris and everything, again, to make it look like something you would stumble upon in the game, and something that's definitely not housing a badass apartment. Now this elevator over here is the best workshop elevator I have used. It's called Snappy Elevators, which is made by Robotin, the same guy who made Snappy House Kit. But it's not actually released yet. The only way to get it is on PC through GitHub, which the link will be in the description. I knew a lot of you would ask about this elevator, so Rob said that I could mention it because, I mean, look, it even has a hatch. I love this thing, and it is a little buggy because, you know, it's not finished yet, but for what it is right now, it's pretty badass. It even has elevator music when it's going, but you probably can't hear it because, you know, I'm yabbering on and there's background music, but it's there, okay? I promise, I wouldn't lie to you. Alright, so here we are. This is the main attraction for this video. This is the apartment that I built with the Nyan Flats Workshop mod. And keep in mind that any neon light that you see, whether it's on the wall or on furniture, it comes in different colors. We have orange, blue, pink, and purple. So like in here in the kitchen, I chose the cabinets that have the blue light under them, but there are options to have these cabinets with the other colors. And that goes for everything that has a neon light. But I love this blue, man, because it's like cordless blue. You know, that's the same shade of blue that I use for everything. So this mod is like right up my alley. Because Hangman's Alley. Because I'm building... I should probably just stop the video now. Probably lost a lot of people with that one. Over here is the living room. So I tried to make this build a little bit different from what I've normally done, because I know that I've done a lot of player homes like this. Hang on, I got to show you this TV. Hang on. Look how cool that is. Oh, it's so badass. But yeah, I tried changing up the layout a good bit, so like having the living room right here in the middle and wide open. I don't normally do that. And same thing with like these floor to ceiling windows and stuff like that. I try to be very mindful, you know, to not do the same thing over and over again, even though it's the same style of build. You know, like I gotta keep it spicy for you guys. And speaking of spicy, man, look at this office. I don't know what it is about building a small office on a single floor piece with like a window. It does something for me. I don't know if it's just like all the clutter or like the crampedness and just it all kind of comes together. I don't know what it is, but I love it. It's the aesthetics, man. And I know I'm tooting my own horn, but I think this looks great. So toot toot. All right, enough about the office. I know what you guys have been wanting to see, and I've been teasing you with it, so I'm sorry, but here it is. Here's the bathroom. Isn't it glorious? And I know what you guys are thinking. There's a screen door for the bathroom. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. But even the apartment that we get with the Creation Club mod uses this same door for the bathroom. So, you know, there isn't an alternative. So basically, we're just going to be very comfortable and close with each other in this apartment. Absolutely no boundaries, apparently. And through these doors, right next to the bathroom, is the bedroom. And man, you know, I'm so jealous of how this building kit looks. Not particularly what I did, but the actual textures and decor and like the tile wall and the neon lights. Like the whole time I was building this, I was thinking, why not me? You know? Why can't I have an apartment like this? With these floor-to-ceiling windows and sweet balcony that overlooks this, you know, disgusting wasteland. Like, what do I have to do to get this, huh? Like, I gotta survive a bomb and wait a couple hundred years? I could do that. You know, we'll see. But that is it for the tour. Now I'm going to switch over to show you guys some pointers. Oh, sorry, hang on. I completely forgot about this area. So normally I have a workshop in my builds, right? And you haven't seen one yet, but look at this. Yeah, they have secret doors in this kit that work perfectly, by the way. Yeah, I completely forgot that I had this whole area over here. But yeah, this is my little workshop. Normally I go kind of crazy. You know, I have like this huge area, but with this build, I wanted to keep it kind of minimal and realistic. So yeah, I just used this small 2 floors and put as much as in here as I could, and I think it worked out pretty well. Alright, so there are a couple of things that I want to point out when using this mod, some tips and tricks, if you will. So when using mods like this, like Snappy House Kit, or even building in the Creation Kit, you'll notice that the walls are one-sided, where one side is invisible. You can see right through it. And the reason why is because it helps the game run smoother, because it's not rendering all these different textures that you don't really need to see. So like right here, you can see the ceiling through the wall, even though on this side there's texture here. And so the way you cover that up is by using these plugs. I didn't know that when I first started using mods like this or building in the Creation Kit, but these plugs are there to cover up those gaps. The next thing I want to show you is how to build these windows. So we get these exterior walls with this building kit, and they just snap right in. Then all you have to do is find the double door wall underneath the texture that you're looking for, so this one here, and that snaps in, but you notice there's like this white gap between the wall texture and the window. And the way you cover that up is by also using these plugs, and these just pop right in, and there you go, there's your window. Another thing that you can do if you want to have like half of this window showing instead of the full window, you can snap in a half wall, and then switch over and find the half doorway that looks like this. And you'll notice that this does not line up with the window, so we kind of have to like finagle it a little bit. So let's get the half or the single door wall plug, and that fixes the top, but now the side is still kind of off. But you can use Place Everywhere to inch it over. And if you don't know how to do that, I made a video on it, so I'll put the link to that in the description. So the window is lined up in the doorway now, but the problem is that we have a gap in the wall because we inched the wall over. But we can actually fix that pretty easily. All we have to do is switch over to Snappy House Kit mod, go under Deco Kit Main A, under Vanilla, and you will find some sort of plug in here, like maybe this corner cap because that matches pretty well, or, you know, I think I might like this pillar. Yeah, that should just pop right in. There we go. And so now it covers up that gap, and I'm sure there's other things that we can do to make it look even better, but for now, that's just like a quick fix. And now, speaking of pillars, each wall texture that we get from the Neon Flats Workshop mod has various sizes of these pillars that snap like right into the middle or the edges of the wall. And I love this because it gives the walls more dimension and makes them look way more interesting, so you can have like all these different shapes and corners instead of just, you know, flat walls. I use these everywhere, and they're kind of like incognito. You don't really notice them, like this bigger one right here. And again, it just gives you a different shape of the wall to make them look more interesting. And the last thing that I want to mention, this isn't groundbreaking or anything, but I at least wanted to point it out. So I wanted to have these dressers, like larger sizes of these dressers in spaces like this. So basically I just used one and then put 2 on each side and use Place Everywhere to line them up. And I did this a lot in a few different areas. So like this is probably a better example. So I'm using 2 of the same dresser because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than what it is. And I'm using Place Everywhere to basically clip them together to look like one dresser. And again, if you haven't seen how to use Place Everywhere like this, I will have a link to that video in the description. I just wanted to point out this dresser technique because I use it a lot throughout this build. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the build, and huge shout out to Demanding for making this mod and allowing me to test it out. It's available on Bethesda.net. I will have the links to it in the description. There is so much time and effort that goes into creating stuff like this, and it can be very painstaking. So you guys should definitely go check it out and give her some love. But thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.